What's up? How you doing? Here we are, a beautiful day today. Nice and early. Smells fresh here. Very dry, but nice temperature. I want to say it's mid 70s. Can hear birds flying by. So I'm a big fan of lighthouses, and the one I really want to visit, St. George's Reef Lighthouse. I'm dying to go, but here's the thing. I want to stay overnight. I want to bring a couple of sandwiches, ham and cheese maybe, a thermos, nice cold beverage, and I want to go when there's a storm. So I emailed the people that are in charge, or I thought were in charge of the lighthouse, and I asked them about my request. I said I'd like to take a tour of the lighthouse, and I'd like to stay overnight. So a few days went by, I didn't hear anything from them, and yesterday I got an email, and wasn't an answer, but the email said that said to me, we got your email and we're not in charge of that kind of a request, we can't handle that, but we passed it over, we forwarded your email to these little bugs are annoying me, these little flies, like you're going fishing. But anyway, they said that they forwarded my email to the vice president of this this group that I guess is in charge of the lighthouse. Now I know the answer is going to be no. If you want to take a tour, you got to take one like everyone else. You got on a helicopter, you pay I think the 400 bucks, you go there for a few, I don't know, an hour, a couple hours, whatever, you walk around with the group, and then we take you back to I think it's Crescent City. But I'll do that too if that's all I can do. But what I really want to do is I want to go there alone with maybe even a Scooby-Doo lunchbox with some sandwiches in there, no liverwurst, and I'd like to go there and stay overnight. That's what I want to do. Now if they want to, they can grant me that request, not a big deal. Helicopter can come pick me up the following day, the next morning, whatever, but I want to go during a storm. Like I want the waves crashing on the side. I want it to be a little windy, you know, cool temperatures, and I want to be alone. I'm not interested in having a group of people there annoying me. Just me. Just me, and then the next day the helicopter can come and pick me up. That's it. I will sign the waivers that I take all responsibilities, because there's going to be many, and if something happens, but nothing's going to happen. So I feel like I need like you know, some kind of you know, those fly swatters. I actually have those incense things that I guess these flies don't like, but I didn't bring them. So anyway, that's it. You know, I'm a fan of lighthouses, but you know, the creepier the better. I like them in remote locations where there's, you know, maybe a cliff off the side, or maybe they're in the middle of the ocean, because this one here, St. George's Reef, is about 6 miles out into the Pacific Ocean. So that to me is the best. That to me is the best. You can only get there by helicopter because there's no docking area, so you can't go by a rowboat. Although, who's going to stop you if you buy a rowboat and you go 6 miles out? What's 6 miles? It's not that far. It should take you, I don't know, a couple hours maybe. You get there, dock on the side, but how do you get in? You gotta break the lock. but I'm dying to get on one of those adventures. Lighthouse. Even my other dream is the uninhabited island scenario where I don't know, somebody with a yacht takes me to an uninhabited island, and then they leave, and then they come back 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and pick me up. I'm really interested in that. Years ago, I had looked up the shipping lanes in the Pacific and certain other areas on the planet, and I had this idea of finding a cargo ship with permission, getting on it. You know, I mean, you give them a couple bucks. What's the big deal? It's not like they have to rent you a room that they normally would have rented to someone else. Anyway, you get on the cargo ship with all these containers, and then you map it out. You figure out, you know, and maybe they can tell you, you know, okay, we're close to an uninhabited island, and you have one of those inflatable rafts, the one you pull on, and then they inflate automatically, and be sitting there blowing the raft. But anyway, you get one of those, good size, you know, 10-footer, and then you inflate it, you throw it off the side of this cargo ship, and then you jump off the cargo ship, get into the raft, and then, you know, row your raft all the way to the island. I thought about that for a little while, and then I said, I don't know, what about if you can't figure out where the shipping lane is on the way back? And then what, you'll be like Gilligan, stuck on an island for like 15 years? So that's the thing, the coming back part. You know, you don't want to get stuck in the middle of the Pacific Ocean without a way to get back. You'll be rowing. I mean, it's hard to find streets that somebody gives you a direction. They say, okay, go down, you know, bang a left, you know, by the stop sign, then go that way, and you can't find it. Can you imagine shipping lanes where you can't find where the ship is going to go by? You miss it by a couple of miles, and you're stuck out there. Sharks eat you. So that's the problem. You have to find somebody who has a boat that can fit enough gas on that boat to bring you that far, and then you have to make sure they leave. I don't want them hanging around like a spider, right? That defeats the purpose. I want to be alone on an uninhabited island with me and just a bunch of coconuts.
Put him in the closet all in one bag.
Anyway, so a while ago I came here with my daughters, and I released a possum, or as some people say, an opossum. So somewhere that possum is roaming around in here. Maybe he got eaten, who knows. But this area, this is the kind of area where when I was a kid I had a bike. These are trails. I would fly through trails, especially late at night. I don't know how we didn't crash into trees back then. But yeah, the trails. 90% of our time, you know, when we would disappear, would be in the woods and trails during the summer. I'm interested in also buying a tractor. Not a big one, but, you know, medium one, like the kind they have on farms. Something about a tractor. Very fascinated with tractors. Big wheels on the back, little wheels on the front, like from Hot Wheel cars. Tiny wheels. Got some power, a lot of torque. I'd like to get one of those and go around. But right now I'm looking at this, and I wish I had a, you know, mini bike or something, or even a regular dirt bike. Perfect place. Keep away from these flies that show up. Come in here with Raid the next time. Spray the whole place with that fog. Raid fog. Leave for about an hour, then come back. Very annoying. It's okay now, but they find you eventually. It's like there's somebody in here. I could smell them. They come after you. Yeah, if you have a used tractor from, I don't know, the 70s, contact me if you want to donate it. I'll buy it. don't know what kind of tree this is. Almost looks like walnut, but it's not. I don't know what that is. It's got a, I don't want to say lemony, but close. But walnuts, you peel them off the tree, and the dye inside makes your fingers black. Looks like you've been working on a motor. Many years ago, many years ago, I was at my grandfather's place, and he had a big walnut tree in the back. And so we grabbed a bunch of them. They kind of look like that, except bigger, nice and round. And I started peeling them, and he was also peeling, but he was doing it carefully. And I intentionally wanted to get the dye on my hands. As a matter of fact, I peeled so many of them that I had so much juice that I started rubbing my hands like this. And he was looking at me and saying, "Oh, that's not going to come off." And I go, "I don't care. I don't care if it comes off." Problem was, it's not really a problem, but the situation was that the following day, I was going somewhere on a 747 TWA. And my hands were really like, I looked like a mechanic, you know, like the Fonz. So did my hands many layers of this dye, extra dark. Then I was looking at them and I go, yeah, that looks like I haven't washed in months. So I went back into the house and got a container, little enamel container, and filled it up with warm water, bleach, and soap. And I sat there scrubbing. I had a brush and everything, and I looked at my hands and it did nothing. Didn't even come off, except my hands smelled extra fresh, like bleach. So next day, get on the plane, and I just looked like, you know, like I was crawling in the mud, in the filthy, greasy mud. And the lady, the sky maid, comes up to me and she's like, what would you like to drink? And put my hands, I'm trying to say, you know, give me a Coke or something. And I can see their eyes were concentrating not on me but on my hands. So, and that lasted, I don't know, like a week or so. Started fading over time, but yeah, you know, it was like they were probably thinking, what did he touch? What did he touch? They probably wanted to tell me, go wash your hands, there's a bathroom right there, but they didn't want to be rude. So anyway, that's what happened years ago, many years ago. It's like I was about that big. The other thing that I find interesting, ticks. Ticks are interesting to me. There's a sparrow. Reminds me of the show Beretta. Keep your eye on the sparrow when the going gets tough and narrow. Yeah. Anyway, so ticks, they climb up on grass, tall grass, or a bush, and they hang around. They know that eventually something's going to pass by. It could be a deer, could be a, you know, giraffe, could be a human, something's going to pass by. And then once you pass by, they have this ability to attach to you. So I'm always, you know, I'm always looking, make sure there's no ticks. But they have a brain the size of a, I want to say maybe a tenth of a sand grain, like a tiny brain, and yet they know that, you know, it's instinct, I know, but still they know to climb the grass, to wait so that something will pass by, and then they'll attach, and then they'll take the blood, and then they'll create more ticks, and then they may even give you Lyme disease. So always have to watch out for that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how they know. Climb up there and just wait, and they're very patient. So anyway, that's it. I see these bugs, these little bugs. They remind me when I was a kid. A time when I would go fishing, and you'd get there in the morning, and there were these little tiny bugs, half fly, half mosquito. You know, when I was a kid, sitting in my room coming up with ideas, I thought of this idea of opening up a manhole cover, a sewer, and going down and exploring my town, my city. I used to watch Kolchak the Night Stalker, and I think there was an episode on that where he went into the New York sewer system. I don't know, they were looking for alligators, and he was like exploring, and I go, that looks fascinating to me. So I go, if I could figure out how to lift that damn thing. And I was looking around in my neighborhood when I was a kid, walking around trying to find kind of like a hidden area where I can open the sewer system without a neighbor calling the police. Go down there, put it back up on top, take the ladder below and just walk around. And then I started thinking there's probably like all kind of human crap down there floating around. Rats, who knows. That these flies, I'm telling you, it's so annoying. Come in here with that raid and just fog up the whole place here. Leave for an hour and then come back. Fresh air. But anyway, yeah, that was my thing. And then I started looking at small towns. Do it at a small town, but never happened. I don't know if you can see that, but that says 15. Here, you're allowed to do 15 miles per hour. But Disneyland, you can only go 14. It says 14 there. Apparently 15 is too much. So they've done research and they came to the conclusion that 14 is just right. So anyway, but here it's 15.